Have you ever felt like you are driving a powerful car, but with the wheels severely out of alignment? You have the engine of ambition, the fuel of a good work ethic, and a clear destination in mind. You press the accelerator and the engine roars. But instead of moving forward in a smooth, straight line, the car pulls violently to one side. You have to fight the steering wheel with all your strength just to stay on the road. Every mile is a struggle. The journey is exhausting, and you are burning twice the fuel to make half the progress. This is the feeling of a misaligned life. It is the agony of putting in maximum effort and getting minimal results. It is the experience of constantly hitting unexpected roadblocks, of deals falling through at the last minute, of plans collapsing for no apparent reason. It is the deep and frustrating feeling that you are swimming against a powerful, invisible current. You see others gliding effortlessly towards their goals, while you're fighting for every inch, and you ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why is this so hard for me? The answer is that the problem is rarely the quality of your effort. The problem is the direction of your energy. This constant friction is not a sign of bad luck. It is a symptom that your desires, your actions, and your purpose are out of alignment with the fundamental laws of success and with the greater flow of the universe itself. When you are misaligned, the universe doesn't punish you, but it cannot help you. It can only provide resistance, the same way the road provides resistance to a car with misaligned wheels. The struggle is a signal, a warning light on your dashboard, telling you that a course correction is needed. This is not just a modern problem, it is an ancient one. And the blueprint for solving it is found in the story of a man named Nehemiah. When we meet him, he has, by all external measures, a successful life. He is the cupbearer to the most powerful king in the world, Artaxerxes of Persia. It is a position of immense trust, comfort, and influence. Yet his soul is in agony. He receives news that the walls of his ancestral city, Jerusalem, are in ruins, and his people are in great trouble and disgrace. In that moment, he experiences a profound misalignment. His comfortable reality in a palace is in direct conflict with the calling of his heart to restore his home. This divine dissatisfaction, this inner friction, was the beginning of his journey. This feeling, the one that Nehemiah felt, and the one that you may be feeling right now, is a sign that you are being called to a greater purpose, a state of higher alignment. On this channel, we provide the blueprint for answering that call. We decode the timeless principles that get your life back into alignment so you can move from friction to flow. If you are tired of fighting the current and are ready to find your power, then take the first step towards alignment right now by subscribing to our channel and activating your notifications. The average person feeling Nehemiah's pain would have responded with frantic, misaligned action. They might have started a protest, written an angry letter, or tried to raise funds through their own limited means. They would have immediately started pushing against the problem with their own strength. But Nehemiah was a master of alignment. He understood a secret that Napoleon Hill would later teach as a cornerstone of his philosophy, that great action must be preceded by deep alignment. Hill discovered that the greatest achievers were not those who simply worked the hardest, but those who first aligned their purpose with the vast power of what he called infinite intelligence. They understood that a plan born from this alignment would have a force behind it that a plan born from human effort alone could never possess. So, what does a man do when his heart is misaligned with his reality? What is the very first step to move from a state of friction to a state of favor? Nehemiah's response was not what you would expect. He didn't create a business plan. He didn't start a fundraising campaign. He did something far more powerful first. He paused. In a world that worships speed and glorifies the hustle, the most counterintuitive and powerful action you can take when faced with a great challenge is to do nothing at all. To pause. The story of Nehemiah is a masterclass in the strategic power of the pause. Faced with a heartbreaking problem and a burning desire to solve it, his first move was not towards the king's throne room, but towards his own prayer closet. The scripture tells us that when he heard the news, he sat down and wept and mourned for some days, and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. Let us not mistake this for an act of passive despair. This was the first and most crucial stage of his action plan. This was Nehemiah, the master strategist, engaging in the deep work of alignment. First, the weeping and mourning. This was not a sign of weakness. It was the process of connecting with the emotional fuel for his mission. He allowed the pain of the problem to galvanize his soul. He transformed his sadness into what Napoleon Hill would call a desejo ardente, a burning desire. Before a purpose can have power, it must have passion. Nehemiah's pause allowed him to crystallize his discontent into an unbreakable, all-consuming mission. Second, the fasting and praying. This was the act of silencing the noise of the world to hear the signal of wisdom. By fasting, he was quieting the demands of his physical body. By praying, he was quieting the demands of his own logical, fearful mind. His prayer, if you read it, is a work of art. It's not just a list of requests. He starts by acknowledging the power of God. He confesses the faults of his people. He reminds God of his promises, and only then does he present his desire. This was not a desperate plea. It was a formal meeting. He was, in the language of Napoleon Hill, forming a mastermind alliance with infinite intelligence. He was aligning his personal desire with a divine purpose. This is the essence of putting God first. It is the discipline to refuse to act on your own limited understanding. It is the wisdom to pause and consult with your all-powerful senior partner before drawing up the battle plans. You are admitting that your own strength is not enough, and you are inviting a higher power to be the true architect of your success. And what was the result of this strategic pause? It was the generation of what the Bible calls favor. After this period of deep alignment, Nehemiah, a mere cupbearer, finally goes before the most powerful man on earth, King Artaxerxes, to make an audacious request for leave of absence, for letters of safe passage, and for the king's own resources to fund the rebuilding project. From a logical standpoint, this request was insane. A servant asking his king to fund a project for a foreign people? The king had every reason to say no, or even to see the request as a sign of disloyalty. But Nehemiah writes, "And the king granted them to me, according to the good hand of my God upon me." The favor was not a random stroke of luck. It was the direct, tangible result of the invisible work Nehemiah had done during his pause. He had aligned his mission so perfectly with the divine will that the universe began to conspire on his behalf. The heart of the king, the greatest obstacle in his path, was turned into his greatest asset. This is the first and most powerful evidence of what happens when you are in alignment. The world begins to rearrange itself to support your mission. Everything begins to align. This ancient story of pausing to align with a higher power seems deeply spiritual. But what if it's also a profound psychological and strategic law? What did Napoleon Hill, in his cold, hard analysis of success, discover about this very principle of aligning your purpose with a greater power before taking action? Nehemiah's story demonstrates a profound spiritual truth. A strategic pause to align with God before taking action results in divine favor. But what is the underlying mechanism? Is it a mystical process reserved only for ancient prophets, or is it a universal law that we can understand and apply today? To answer this, we must turn to the man who dedicated his life to reverse engineering success, Napoleon Hill. Hill, in his pragmatic and scientific way, discovered the very same principle, but he gave it a different name. He called it the law of harmony. The law of harmony states that your ability to achieve great success and power is in direct proportion to how well your thoughts, actions, and purpose are aligned and in harmony with the positive, creative forces of the universe. When you are in a state of harmony, your life enters a state of flow. When you are in a state of disharmony, your life enters a state of friction. Let's break this down. What creates disharmony? The state of misalignment we described in the first chapter. It's the state of having a purpose that is purely selfish, with no thought for the value you provide to others. It's the state of having your mind filled with the chaotic static of fear, doubt, and worry. It's the state of your actions contradicting your stated goals. When you operate from this internal state of chaos and selfishness, you are, in effect, trying to swim against the current of universal law. And the universe, not as a punishment but as a simple matter of physics, provides resistance. That resistance is the friction you feel in your life and what creates harmony. This is where Napoleon Hill's science perfectly mirrors Nehemiah's faith. The first step towards harmony is having a definite purpose that transcends your own selfish interests. Nehemiah's purpose was not, "I want to be a famous builder." It was, "I want to restore the honor of my people and the glory of God." A purpose that is rooted in service, in creating value for others, is inherently more harmonious with the creative, expansive nature of the universe. This type of purpose automatically begins to align you with a greater power. The second and most crucial step towards harmony is the one Nehemiah took during his pause. It is the deliberate act of forming a mastermind alliance with what Hill called infinite intelligence. This is the secret to ensuring your plans are in harmony with the greater flow. This law of harmony is the secret to shifting from a life of struggle to a life of flow, from pushing to being pulled. If you are ready to master this principle and align your own life for effortless success, make sure you are subscribed to this channel and have your notifications turned on, because this is the core of our teaching. When you operate alone, relying only on your own logic, you are like a single musician trying to guess the melody of a symphony. You will inevitably hit wrong notes and create disharmony. But when you pause, as Nehemiah did, and enter into a mastermind with the composer of the symphony, infinite intelligence or God, you receive the sheet music. You are given the divine plan. Your actions stop being guesses and start being a confident performance of your part in a grand, harmonious composition. This is what Napoleon Hill discovered. Putting God first is the spiritual instruction. Creating a state of harmony between your definite purpose and infinite intelligence is the scientific method. They are two descriptions of the exact same process. It is the act of surrendering your small, ego-driven plan in exchange for a perfect, divinely inspired one. And when your plans are in harmony with the source of all power, the results are inevitable. The king's heart will be moved, the resources will appear. The opposition will be quieted, because the universe will always support a plan that is in harmony with its own nature. So, if achieving this state of harmony is the key to unlocking the flow of life, how do we do it? What are the daily practices that tune our minds and align our actions with this powerful current? For that, we need the practical ritual for daily alignment. Understanding the law of harmony is the key that opens the door. But it is the practice of a daily ritual that allows you to walk through that door and live in the reality of alignment. A concept, no matter how powerful, is useless without a method of application. This chapter is that method. It is a simple 3-step ritual to be practiced every morning, designed to consciously align your personal will with the universal power, transforming your life from a struggle against friction to a dance with flow. Step 1. The purpose calibration. Before you can align yourself with power, you must first be absolutely clear on what you are aligning for. This step is about taking your definite purpose and ensuring it is in a state of alignability. Take your primary goal, your great mission in life. Look at it written down. Now ask yourself this crucial question. How does the achievement of this purpose serve a good greater than my own personal gain? This is the harmony check. A purpose that is purely selfish, I just want to be rich, is like a musical note played out of key with the rest of the orchestra. It creates dissonance, but when you calibrate your purpose, you tune it to the symphony of the universe. For example, instead of "I want to make $1 million," your calibrated purpose becomes "I will build a business that provides immense value to my customers, solves a real problem in the world, and as a natural result of this service, I will earn $1 million to provide freedom for my family and to support causes I believe in." Do you see the shift? The desire for wealth is still there, but it is now the byproduct of a noble, service-oriented mission. A purpose calibrated in this way is inherently harmonious with the creative, expansive laws of the universe. This is the purpose you will bring to your senior partner. Step 2, the alignment prayer. This is your daily mastermind meeting, your power of the pause. This is not a prayer of begging. It is a prayer of partnership and alignment. In your quiet time, present your calibrated purpose to infinite intelligence, to God. Then, you perform the most powerful act of the entire process. You surrender your own plans for achieving it. You can say something like, "This is the purpose I wish to serve. I now surrender my own limited, ego-driven plans and my anxious timelines. I ask not for my will, but for the divine plan to be revealed to me. Align my thoughts with your thoughts and show me with clarity the very next step I should take." After you make this request, you listen. You sit in the silence in a state of open, expectant faith. You are not trying to force an answer. You are creating a space for the answer to be given. This act of consciously seeking a higher plan is the ultimate expression of putting God first. Step 3, inspired action. Alignment without action is just a pleasant feeling. The final step is to act on the guidance you receive. Throughout your day, after your alignment prayer, you must be alert to the whispers of intuition. The guidance will come. It might be a sudden, brilliant idea that seems to come from nowhere. It might be an intuitive nudge to call a specific person. It might be a coincidence that puts the perfect opportunity in your path. This is the divine plan being revealed to you one step at a time. And your part of the bargain, your test of faith, is to act on this inspiration immediately. Don't doubt it. Don't overanalyze it. Act. This is you demonstrating your trust in your senior partner. Nehemiah prayed and aligned himself for months, but the favor of the king was only released when he finally took the inspired action of speaking up. Your action is the physical bridge that allows the aligned, spiritual plan to manifest in the material world. When you act on these intuitive nudges, you will find the doors open with an almost magical ease. You will find yourself in a state of flow, where the right things happen at the right time. Calibrate your purpose for harmony. Ask for the divine plan in your alignment prayer, and act on the guidance with inspired faith. This 3-part ritual is the practical daily work of putting God first. When this becomes your automatic way of operating, you stop being the exhausted driver fighting a misaligned car. You become the serene passenger in a divinely chauffeured vehicle, moving powerfully and peacefully towards your destination. We have reached the culmination of our journey. We have diagnosed the pain of misalignment, we have understood the divine blueprint of putting God first, and we have learned the practical, daily ritual to achieve a state of harmony with infinite intelligence. The final and most important question is, what is the result? What does a life look like when you master this practice? The answer is the fulfillment of the promise in our title. Everything aligns. This is not just a hopeful phrase, it is a description of a tangible reality. When you consistently operate from a state of alignment, you begin to witness a series of phenomena that to the outside world look like incredible luck, but you will recognize as the lawful result of your inner work. First, the hearts of people are turned in your favor. Remember Nehemiah. His greatest initial obstacle was the most powerful man in the world, the king he served. Logic dictated that the king would never approve his request. But because Nehemiah had first aligned himself with the King of Kings, the heart of the earthly king was moved. In your own life, you will see this happen. People in positions of authority, clients who were previously difficult, partners who were hesitant, they will begin to inexplicably agree with your plans and support your vision. The friction in your relationships will be replaced by a harmonious flow of cooperation. Second, the necessary resources will appear. Nehemiah needed not just permission, but also letters of safe passage and, crucially, timber from the king's own forest. Once he was in alignment, these resources were freely given. When you are in alignment, you stop chasing resources, and resources start finding you. The money you need for the next stage of your business appears from an unexpected source. The piece of information you were missing falls into your lap. The right employee or partner shows up at the exact right time. You stop operating from a mindset of, how will I get what I need, and start living in the calm certainty that what you need will be provided. Third, the opposition will be neutralized. Nehemiah faced intense opposition. His enemies mocked him, plotted against him, and tried to stop his work at every turn. Yet, none of their plans succeeded. When you are truly aligned with a purpose, blessed by infinite intelligence, a shield of protection seems to form around you. The negative actions of others lose their power to affect you. The market downturn that should have ruined your business somehow misses you. The competitor's move that should have been a fatal blow ends up being irrelevant. You operate with a calm assurance that if God is for you, who can be against you? This is what it means to live an aligned life. It is not a life free from challenges. Nehemiah still had to do the hard work of rebuilding the wall, but it is a life free from the exhausting, soul-crushing friction of working against the current. The struggle ceases and is replaced by a powerful, graceful flow. You are no longer pushing the boulder up the hill. You feel as though a great and invisible hand is helping you push. This is the state of being that we are dedicated to helping you achieve right here on this channel. If you are ready to trade a life of friction for a life of flow, and make this state of alignment your new normal, then seal your commitment by making sure you are subscribed to our community. The friction you feel in your life is not your enemy. It is your guide. It is a loving signal from the universe, alerting you that a course correction is needed. It is a call to return to the source. Heed the call. Practice the pause. Put God first. And then watch with a calm and grateful spirit as everything else in your life beautifully, powerfully, and inevitably falls into place.